What's up guys, hope you're doing well. Today we'll have a look into the Chainlink price chart as we have some updates on our $32.17 price target. Also you can see that we have moved below the upward trend line right here, and I want to tell you what is potentially about to happen next and also how I will act within my positions. So I would say let's get straight into this. First things first, let's talk about the price target right here, $32.17. As you may already see it, this price target has just become invalidated. Normally what we want to see from the time perspective is that we are back in this rectangle latest when the second half of the rectangle has started. Normally if we have a big time window like we have right here, about 2 months, then we can give a couple of days extension. So that means if we are going back in 2 to 4 days later, that is also okay, but we are already 2 days late for this price target, and it doesn't seem like it that we will do this in the next 1 or 2 days so that we get back above this resistance level right here at 25.10. Therefore we can pretty confidently say that this price target right here is invalidated, and therefore I will right now delete it from the chart. And very important right here, just because, okay, let's not delete this from the chart because I want to show you something. The thing that I want to show you is that just because this price target right now is invalidated doesn't mean that we will never go there. It just means that the price target that we have right here, that is always linked to a time window, has a 90% likelihood that we are not hitting it within this time window right here. But let's just assume that we are going a little bit right here, and then at some point we are breaking this high right here. And in case we are doing this, then this is activating a new price target, and this one would even be bigger. Of course, the time window right now is, we don't know about this, pure speculation, but in case we are not doing a lower low right here, the price target would remain the same. So as the one that I will just show you right now. And as you can see, this one would even be higher than the old one, and potentially or very likely we will have a different time window right here within this price target. Very likely it will be later than the one from here. This is the 24th of October, and that is what I wanted to show you before I delete the price targets right here. So we have just invalidated the price target, therefore we can also remove this line right here because this was the price invalidation. And right now let's have a look at what potentially is about to happen next. So what we can see is that we have broken the trend line right here, the upward trend line. The last time we had 3 bounces, then we got to the next resistance. From there we got rejected. Right now we have daily candle closes below the support level right here. So what we potentially can do right now is that we are revisiting this low right here, potentially also do a liquidity grab. That means that we are doing a lower low. Maybe it will just be a slightly lower low, but to that I have something to show you, because we are also always looking into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin currently is also being rejected from its current resistance level right here. At the moment we do not know what the next week will bring, and you can see that basically since 10 days we are bouncing around right here. So some days we get above it, then we close back below, above, below, above, below. So we are bouncing around right here with this resistance, and in case we get a real rejection from this level, then we are potentially going here to our very important support level at 112k. And you may remember from the last updates that I said that as long as Bitcoin is above the 112k, Bitcoin is strong, and therefore also altcoins are strong. So if we are really doing this move right here to the downside to the 112k level in Bitcoin, very likely a lot of investors will become fearful, and we will test a lot of investors if they are really wanting to stay in this market. And if we are doing this, let's have a quick look right here. This would be another let's say 3% move to the downside, and I'm always measuring it that altcoins most likely will do a 2x to 3x depending on how strong they are. You know, sometimes they also fall the same, and if we just take a look at this, 3% would basically be a little bit above this recent high, but if we go to 6%, then we would slightly take out the old low right here, make a tiny new one, and if we are going with 9%, then we are going back to this low. So this is then probably the area that we are aiming for in case Bitcoin is moving back to the 112k levels. Therefore, let me tell you what my current plan is. You know that lately I have accumulated and added to my position at this trend line when we have touched this trend line right here. I think I don't know exactly, I think it was this candle right here, so probably at the same price that we are currently at. Therefore, right now in my positions nothing is changing. In case we are dipping and touching this low right here or coming close to this area, then I will add to my position, also with the knowledge that we are potentially dropping to this level right here. But the first thing is that I will add to my position right here. If I will add, so in case we are going to this low right here, then I will take a look into Bitcoin. So because if Bitcoin is dropping below the 112k levels, and if we have daily candle closes below the 112k levels, then potentially we need to readjust right here, and then potentially the picture looks different. But right now the plan is that I am basically waiting what is happening right here and what is happening in Bitcoin. In case this will just be another fool's move right here and we are just dipping below it and tomorrow we will be back up, then very likely Chainlink will also go back up and also go back above the bullish trend line. In case we are really getting a rejection right here in Bitcoin, then we are very likely moving to, let me mark this area, then we will very likely move into this area right here in Chainlink. If we are dropping into this area, I will add a position. In case we are just messing around right here in my positions, nothing will change. But you know, as always guys, in case there should be any updates or any changes within my positions, I will upload a new video. So make sure to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss this. Also, in case you have any questions, feel free to post them down in the comments. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.